the one to watch. This is 16 WAPT News live at 5.
New at 5, no help from FEMA for Crosby flood victims. We're asking why. Plus, Trump visits security. What you need to know when the presidential candidate stops in the capital city Wednesday. And a new airline's calling Jackson International home when the first flights leave. We're following breaking news at 5. A Warren County deputy is in the hospital tonight after someone slammed into his car on Interstate 20 westbound near Edwards. Troopers say a Chevy Tahoe plowed into the back of that patrol vehicle while it was sitting on the side of the road. The deputy was taken to a Vicksburg hospital with minor injuries. Let's check in with David now with weather first.
A lot of dry areas out there right now, but there is, the daily dose of downpours. Live look from our Hilton cam. Shower just moved across the County Line Road area. If you can see, the roads are wet. The drops on the camera. Here is live Storm Shield 16 Doppler radar. And right now, some heavy downpours stretching from just to the east of the sky cam there on Hilton and County Line Road. And you can see cells are still developing, especially near Flowood and Pearl, then back towards Bolton and Clinton. Yeah, it looks like they're going to be around through the early evening. But look at all the dry areas. Find out what the trends are for the week ahead coming up.
All right, thanks, David. Live at 5, Donald Trump will be in Jackson Wednesday. I'm Tammy Eswick. Megan is off tonight. That means street closures and traffic delays in downtown Jackson. Those delays apply to interstate traffic entering and exiting downtown and that area. Starting at noon, the Secret Service says things will be very tight and people attending the rally should arrive early. Despite the traffic headaches, one local business says they're looking forward to the Trump rally.
Usually during the stock show and rodeo and some large concerts, the police are very much present. They work very hard to keep the traffic flowing from both directions, and they participate so that there is not a great backlog.
Officers say if you plan on attending, bring as few items as possible. You also cannot bring any weapons, selfie sticks, signs, or cameras with detachable lenses. In other Commitment 2016 news, former Secretary of State Colin Powell denies he gave Hillary Clinton the idea to use a personal email server. He told one media outlet, quote, "Her people are trying to pin it on me." A New York Times report revealed Clinton told FBI agents Powell was the inspiration for her email setup. Powell says Clinton was using the server long before they talked about it. Well, someone found a Mississippi rock star dead in the hallway of a Wisconsin hotel. 38-year-old Matt Roberts was a founding member of Three Doors Down. Roberts left the group in 2012 for health reasons. He and his bandmates are from the small town of Escatawpa, Mississippi. That 911 call came in late Saturday night. Roberts was scheduled to perform at a benefits concert. Well, Madison police are still looking for a missing woman tonight. Police say 45-year-old Tanya Crockrell was last seen Friday night around 10:30 on Kilford Court in Madison. She was wearing a black top and black shorts. Call the Madison Police Department at 601-856-6111 if you have any details that can help. Well, Jackson State students headed back to school this morning, but as 16 WAPT's Ann Parker reports, freshman students are getting something special, actually.
This is a brand new year, brand new opportunities and everything.
How are you? The first day of school for Jackson State students.
Starting my major and all that type of stuff, I'm really excited about school in general. I love school.
I'm just glad I'm just here again. And, just start out strong and finish out strong. That's the biggest thing, staying focused.
Lots of excited students on JSU's campus for the first day at school, but there's one thing that the freshmen are the most excited about.
Well, we're getting iPads tomorrow.
For the past 5 years, JSU has been giving out free iPads to all incoming freshmen.
It was an iPad scholarship. You get it as soon as you get accepted into the school.
This makes the playing field level, that everybody walks in on the same level.
The school giving us that opportunity is really great.
Project leaders say JSU is an Apple Distinguished School, partly sponsored by the big tech company. They say the iPad initiative is making students graduate faster and enrollment is up.
It's not just something for listening to music on. They're actually using it in the classrooms, and they've done phenomenal work with the iPads.
So instead of turning another page into 2016, JSU is swiping into the future. At Jackson State University, Ann Parker, 16 WAPT News.
Well, other universities starting this week include Ole Miss, Alcorn State, and Millsap starts back today. USM, Mississippi College, and Belhaven start back Wednesday. Students went back to class at Mississippi State last week. Well, there's a new airline at Jackson's airport. This morning, Southern Airways announced new non-stop flights to Tennessee and Florida.
Every good state has an airline. Now, there are good states that don't, but the most successful ones have an airline, and we have one.
That's right, we do. Governor Bryan and Jackson's Mayor Tony Yarber were at the airport for the announcement this morning. The small 9-passenger planes take off 6 days a week. Tickets start at about $200. Mayor Yarber says it will give the airport the business boost they need.
We don't necessarily need huge airlines to create this momentum to start coming back. We need regional carriers. We need people who, because of what the data says, they've identified it, they understand where the need is, and then they drive that need.
With the increased frequency to Memphis, increased frequency to Destin, and then daily service to Nashville, we think this is going to be a really important destination.
Now, you may remember the same airline rolled out non-stop flights from the Bruce Campbell Airfield in Madison to Destin, Florida about 3 years ago. Its first flight takes off from Jackson Friday. The Jackson police are looking for 2 gunmen after an apartment shooting early this morning. Officers say someone shot a man and his car multiple times in the back parking lot of Covington Park Apartments. Cops say the victim jumped into that car and made it to the front of the building. That's where emergency crews rushed him to the hospital in critical condition. One neighbor at that apartment says she's had enough.
I'm moving out of here. I'm getting out of here because I got my little babies and stuff up here, and it's not a safe place for them.
I'm really thankful because then nothing happened to my family, so I'm just really thankful.
Our crew says a tow truck drove the victim's car from the scene. It was riddled with bullet holes and was shot out. The back window actually was shot out of that car. If you have any information that can help police, call Crime Stoppers at 601-355-TIPS. A federal judge plans to sentence the former Mississippi State student who tried to join ISIS with his girlfriend. Muhammad Dakala heads to court Wednesday. A federal judge sentenced Dakala's fiancé, Vicksburg native Jalen Young, to 12 years in prison. Investigators say Young was the mastermind behind the plan. Agents arrested the couple last year before they boarded a flight in Columbus. The State Department of Health reported 3 new cases of West Nile and 1 new Zika case in Mississippi. The new cases of West Nile are in Chickasaw, Copiah, and Perry counties. That brings the state total of West Nile cases to 14. Harrison County reported the new Zika case. The patient just got back from Puerto Rico. That brings the state total for Zika cases to 17. Well, officials say they need more time before they release the names of the 3 people killed in a fiery car crash in Byram.
It was awful. It's the worst thing I've ever been to.
Yeah, that crash happened Saturday afternoon. 9 cars slammed into each other on Interstate 55 near the Sywell Road exit in Byram. The coroner says the bodies are so badly burned, they need DNA and dental records to identify the victims. Byram's police chief says construction in that area might have played a role in the wreck.
It's caused me a lot of heartache because it causes crashes. There's a lot of crashes on this highway since this construction project started.
Police say there was a big rig involved. The driver of that truck is okay tonight. The coroner's office says it's going to take at least a week to identify all the bodies. Well, no FEMA help for Mississippi flood victims. 16 WAPT's Scott Simmons found out MEMA says the state doesn't have enough damage to apply for federal disaster assistance.
Health officials say they are now growing concerned in the wake of all this flooding that stagnant water could lead to more cases of mosquito-borne illnesses, West Nile, and, God forbid, Zika, still not found in Mississippi. But residents in Wilkinson County, specifically the city of Crosby, say they have more pressing issues at hand now. FEMA now notifying the state of Mississippi that it will not be sending any federal disaster aid to help residents in this community. For Crosby, a town of some 318 residents, almost 200 of them are still displaced because of all the flooding. And the mayor in Crosby says residents need help right now.
Many of the people who come here say that they didn't know that us here in Mississippi, all they were hearing about is Louisiana. They didn't know we were in this condition here. Once they found out, then they started coming.
What's this like?
Terrifying, horrible, nightmares.
And residents still trying to find a way to get their homes cleaned up, to gather what belongings they can, and find a home. So far, they have been relying on the kindness of volunteers. In Crosby, Scott Simmons, 16 WAPT News.
Well, President Obama plans to travel to Louisiana tomorrow. The flooding in Baton Rouge has been called historic. Some have criticized the president for not cutting his vacation short. The flooding killed 13 and damaged more than 40,000 homes. Sally Kidd is live in Washington with more. Sally.
Well, Tammy, the disaster unfolding in Louisiana will be the president's focus early in the week, but he's also looking ahead to Congress's return after Labor Day. After being blasted for playing golf on Martha's Vineyard while floods inundated Louisiana, President Obama will head to the flood zone Tuesday. The White House saying the criticism is unfounded.
The president has been focused on the response and not, frankly, as concerned with the optics as all of you appear to be.
The president and his administration are also on defense regarding a $400 million payment to Iran.
It was not ransom because this was money that we owed the Iranian government.
The payment came in January as 4 American hostages were being released.
The reason they happened around the same time is because Iran was in the business of signing off on agreements. And so we were pushing the envelope to get as much as we possibly could.
Republican lawmakers are promising hearings on the matter.
The Obama administration is going to lose the PR battle over this. It's a sloppy move. It's an amateurish move for a White House that is 8 years into this administration. And it's one that is going to enter into the conversation around the election.
Also on the agenda, Congress will have just a few weeks to pass a spending bill to keep the government running beyond September. The president will also be pressing for funding to combat the Zika virus and develop a vaccine.
That was our own Sally Kidd reporting from Washington. Well, Sand Hill, Mississippi native Tori Bowie is on her way home from the Rio Olympics. She won 3 medals in track and field. The USM graduate started her track career at Pisgah High School. Officials at the school say they're planning a big celebration for the track and field star when she gets home. Well, Flowood's police chief responded to accusations his officers raided the wrong house. That homeowner lives on Ludlow Avenue in West Jackson. She says Hinds County deputies and the Flowood Police Department showed up at her house last week while she was still in her robe. She says she doesn't even know the person they had a search warrant for. Flowood Police Chief Richie McCluskey says his officers had the correct address and got the homeowner's consent to search the house. They were looking for an auto burglary suspect, but they did not find him. Hinds County Sheriff Victor Mason says 3 of his investigators were there, but did not go inside of that woman's house. Well, a Mississippi man charged in connection with the murders of 5 people, including a pregnant woman, heads back to Alabama this week. Derek Dearman turned himself into Mississippi authorities. Investigators say he confessed to killing a pregnant woman and 4 other people Saturday. It happened at a home 30 miles outside of Mobile. After the attack, witnesses say 27-year-old Dearman from Leaksville kidnapped his girlfriend and her 3-month-old child at the scene, but later let them go. Well, a road closure in Flowood could slow traffic down this evening. MDOT says crews will close Flowood Drive from Liberty Road to Airport Road starting at 7 p.m. Drivers can use Airport Road to Lakeland Drive as a detour. This is part of the State Department of Transportation's Lakeland Drive expansion project. The closure will last from 7 this evening until 6 tomorrow morning. And David, you've already talked about a couple of showers in the area. Hopefully that won't slow people down either.
And the sooner the better that they get that completed, because it'll be nice having Lakeland Drive all white. You know, the humidity, the heat just continues, the rain continues, and we have not dropped below 70 degrees since the 1st of July. So that's coming up on, well, when we finish this month, 2 months.